Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan. I want to thank you for checking out my broadcast today. It is day 387 of my 3 year challenge to lose 300 pounds. If this is your first time checking out my broadcast, a little bit about me: 39 years old. I'm married. We have 4 children together, and I've been overweight my whole life. I created this challenge as a way to help kind of keep myself accountable, um, and to track my progress on the challenge that I created. And the two big parts of the challenge were, or that they are, that I've challenged myself to focus on my health and my well being for longer than I have ever done before. In the past, I've been able to sustain or to stick with a diet for 2 or 3 weeks or a few months or maybe even most of a year. But things would happen, events would occur that I was losing the weight for. And I'd lose my focus. Sometimes I'd even reach the goal that I had set out to do in the beginning, and I would just kind of let the old habits start to come back, and I would start to gain weight, and I wouldn't stick to it. So that's why I challenged myself to focus on this for 3 years, to make to make it a priority, or make it something that I'm paying attention to, not let it slide. The other big part of the challenge is that in the past, I've set goals that I felt were realistic, or goals that were achievable, a lot quicker than the goal that I set for myself here, which is to lose 300 pounds. The reason why I want to lose 300 pounds is that it'll get me down to what is a much healthier weight. Many times when I set a goal to lose 100 pounds or to lose weight, until this event, uh, I get to a good weight and I'm healthy and I feel good. I mean, even for now as an example, I've lost a lot of weight and I'm very happy about where I'm at, but I still have a lot of weight to go. And so that's why I challenged myself to lose the 300 pounds. So far on the challenge, like I said, I'm on day 387. So I'm over one third of the way through the time. And then I have lost over 200, or I've lost right around 200 pounds, right at 200 pounds in the first year. So I'm 2/3 of the way. Uh, through the weight loss, and things have been going really good so far. I started off with a crazy water fast that I planned on only doing for 30 days. I pushed it for over 40 days. And then after the water fast, I switched to a whole food plant-based diet, and we've been eating that for most meals, and it's been incredible so far. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you have any other questions, comments, or anything, feel free to add them at any time, whether you're watching this live or if you watch this on a rerun broadcast. But uh, I hope everybody had a good weekend. It was really nice. The weather here was great this weekend, and then today it just went right back to freezing again. So it was a nice reprieve. I didn't end up getting any photos sent to me, or I didn't get them from Carrie. She has photos on her phone, but Saturday was able to get out, do some yard work. All of the leaves are falling finally. So I've got the leaf blower out and was dealing with that. And probably for me, uh, just a major non-scale victory was that I got on the roof of my house and my garage, they're separate, and cleaned the gutters out. I actually have a backpack leaf blower that I was even wearing, and standing on my roof and blowing the leaves out. And that was something that I maybe in the excuse me, sorry, I just said the 4 or 5 years that we've lived at the house, I might have been on a roof one time ever. early on, but I've never felt confident to get on the roof of the house, just because of my size and, 100% because of my size. So to get on my roof and to deal with, getting the leaves out of the gutters and cleaning them is something that, I had not been able to do for a long time, and I could tell there was one set of gutters. Hey, Anthony, saying hello. I hope you had a good weekend, Anthony. Just talking about doing some yard work. And there's one line of the gutter system that's like right under a tree that had been needing to be tended to for a while, and I was happy that I was able to take care of that. This year there was a little bit of grass growing out of the gutter, so it took a little bit of work, but I was able, well, not a whole lot of work because I was using a leaf blower, but I was able to get all the gutters cleaned out. So hopefully going into this winter, it looks or it goes well. Carrie says she forgot to send the pictures. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Maybe we can put them up on the Discord or something. Um, but yeah, it was great to be able to be out and do that, and not have any issues with being so heavy. The roof felt great. In fact, the we have kind of this area of our house that the roof is a different type. It's almost like an RV kind of roof over a Four Seasons room. And I was worried that that wasn't gonna hold me, and it was actually more stable than the garage roof was probably the weakest of all of the rooftops I was on as far as what it felt like under my feet. But and it is a little bit nerve wracking getting to that edge and being so high up, especially on one side of our house. Nancy says that's totally cool. Yeah, it was great to be able to do that. And I ended up, another thing I kind of did impromptu was one of the, it had to have been during the day on Saturday. One of my kids was really uh, bugging me about going for a bike ride. And, we have a neighborhood that's next to our house. It's hard to kind of explain, but we are not part of that subdivision, but we can walk through one yard and that guy doesn't mind at all. And we're on their street and it's very private or very uh, low traffic. Like it's just and the only reason anybody would ever be going back there is to go to their house. And so we ended up going over there. I took the dog to walk her a little bit and let my daughter go for a bike ride. And it was really fun to do that, just to let her kind of, especially with our twin daughters, they don't usually do much on their own. So she got to kind of play 100% by herself with me, riding her bike. She did a really good job. We have training wheels on them, but, um, and then we had bought this leash for our dog that is it like connects, it's a belt that you wear and the leash comes off of that. And uh I walked the dog with that and it was really nice cuz our dog is pretty big. She's young. She's only like 10 months old. She's probably 60 to 70 pounds and she likes to pull on the leash. And so having this belt, she ends up having to pull my whole body. And it also has a nice elastic leash that has a lot of give in it as well. But it was cool to get her out on that, get her walked, play with my kid, or let her ride the bike. She had a great time, and kind of do that impromptu, and that would have been something that I would not have ever really considered doing or done previously. And so that was kind of another fun thing from the weekend. um Trying to think, we didn't have didn't have a whole lot of like things to do. We ended up having a friend, like one of the neighbor girls slept over one night with at the house. We went to Costco. Did I talk about? I felt like I talked about that, but maybe I didn't. But yeah, we went to Costco. We picked up some things, getting ready for this weekend. I think Carrie actually went back to Costco again today to pick up some more things. We're just trying to get everything together for Thanksgiving. We're going to be traveling. I, as of right now, today is the only day I think I'm going to go live this week. We have to travel from here down to St. Louis. It's like a 4 or 5 hour trip. And so we will we'll be leaving in the afternoon tomorrow, and it just doing the stream would push us leaving even later, and there's no reason for that. Carrie, yeah, so Carrie went to Costco today. She did. And she found that they had some vegan Belgian chocolates. She sent me a text message from Costco that it must have been some sort of special day because they had all kinds of vegan items as the items. Like they had a hummus and black bean burgers and lentil bowls and cauliflower crackers, and then the vegan Belgian chocolates. Anthony says, "Say have a safe trip." Thanks, Anthony. I hope, yeah, thanks. I hope you have a good week if you're traveling, or everything goes well for you too. But the uh, we're getting ready for the travel, and it shouldn't be too difficult. The really nice thing is that Carrie's parents, who we are staying at their place, they are eating a plant-based diet as well. So they're going to have a lot of the things that we eat. They aren't as strict with the salt, oil, and sugar. And so there might be some occasions like on Carrie said, awesome day of vegan samples up at Costco. On Thanksgiving Day, I'm not going to be able to avoid salt, oil, sugar. I'm not going to. In fact, the trip itself, I'm not going to. Um, I'm not going to freak out about salt, oil, or sugar because we're going to be at Thanksgiving. And we usually go to two different locations. And not eating at the one location shouldn't be an issue because we usually go after dinner anyways. But the I'm just excited to travel. It's been a little bit since we have traveled with the family. It's going to be a little hectic. It's going to be really hectic. Um, we're going to travel with the kids and both of our dogs. We've never traveled with both dogs at the same time, and our one dog's getting pretty old, so he's going to have gonna have quite a trip. So we'll see how that goes. But um we getting everything ready for that. We're gonna have to get kind of packed up tonight and tomorrow, and get heading on the road on the way down there. Um let me see. I kind of jumped ahead of myself, and I don't know. So I went back and watched a couple of my videos from when I started, like day 19 and day 20. I kind of fell behind on watching. I didn't actually get through all of day 20. But it was interesting watching my videos from them that time. I still talk about a lot of the same things. There are some things that are different, but one of the things I talk about on day 20 is the fast food calculator that I did. And just looking back or thinking back to all of the fast food that I ate is just wild. And what happened on day 20 is I had kind of picked a month when I started and then realized that it wasn't a good month. But anyways, I switched the month that I looked back to. And so uh the calculation I had figured was from the first 20 days of September 2020. For just myself, I had spent over $330 on fast food, and that's just like breakfast and lunch for myself. That's not gas station stuff in the evening or um, pizza or food out at night or what I had for dinner if it was made at home. Um, and it's just an incredible amount of food that I was eating. Just $333.10 is what it was in 20 days. And I think that the number of like I think went to fast food more times than there was days in the week as well. So or days in the month so far as well. So there was at least once or twice that I probably went to fast food twice in that day. Um and I it's just incredible to be um away from it and not be in a position where it's uh it's got me trapped every morning, like that was one of the toughest psychological things like looking back at it was how many times I fought with myself mentally about whether or not I was going to stop at a fast food restaurant. And uh, I'm just in like where I work, I'm just in an awful spot because I'm near an airport and I'm near a mall. And so every fast food option is near me. And I have to drive, I drive by them all on the way to work and I drive by them all on the way home. And the number of times that even if I would convince myself not to stop and eat at one of the fast food restaurants on the way in, I get to work and I get halfway through the day and it would get to lunchtime and I talk myself into going and getting fast food for lunch, and just and it's and I had like not necessarily schedules in my head, but I would rotate the restaurants that I would be going to. I would choose to go Taco Bell for breakfast one morning and then Burger King the next morning and then McDonald's the next morning so that I wasn't going to the same breakfast at the same place every morning. And I probably would have gone to some of those like if I didn't have the really if nobody would have known that I was going to the same restaurant every morning or get it, I would have gone to those places two times in a row. A lot of times I would go to somewhere just because it wasn't the place I went to the day before. And just to not have that on my mind at all is crazy. Like I was driving home uh the other day and like something caught my eye at a fast food restaurant and I kind of looked at it for a second and almost like thought to myself like I hadn't looked at that restaurant in a long time. Like I just kind of when you take the same trip in and out all, or every day, you kind of zone out the things that don't change. And I kind of realized that I just hadn't even been registering the fast food restaurants for a while. Um, and it's just incredible to think of what kind of, and there's a lot of self-control issues, and the amount of food I was eating at those places was incredible amounts of food. Um, but the what goes into those foods, the marketing that goes into the food, the the technology that goes into, them developing the perfect combinations of this amount of meat to this amount of cheese to this amount of bun, uh and the like even yeah like it's all researched to make theirs the one you choose every time And in order to make you choose that one over their competitors, they have to make some choices about what they put in the food that aren't necessarily the healthiest choices for the customer. Uh and we end up being the ones that pay just because they want us to keep coming back. They want, they make addicts out of us. Um so yeah, it's just nice to not have that kind of burden. And we're trying to break our kids of it too, and it's hard, but the the last few times that they've, the only fast food restaurant that I will take them to at this point is Burger King because they sell the Impossible Whopper. Um, anytimes that like we've gone to McDonald's recently, but this is me. I'm not sure what Carrie's doing, but uh, she's on pretty much on board, or she has been. But if we went to McDonald's, I'd let them get like a drink or those uh ices, but uh no more ice cream and happy meals and things like that. And that's been tough because, the kids still scream out for the golden arches when we drive by or when we're talking about going out to eat, or some of them. One of our kids never liked McDonald's, which is great. But um just the and if we didn't change now, if we could just kept on the path that we had been going down and going to fast food at the drop of a hat for the kids to get something, what kind of life we would have created for them, what kind of uh because we didn't when I was a kid we went to fast food, but not like I went to fast food for the last 20 years since I moved out of the house, like it's been fast food restaurants have been my primary source of food um for, they were for 18 years. So um that was rubbing off on my kids. And if I was 80% eating fast food, I can only imagine what they would end up of. I wasn't that. I don't. But anyways, I'm glad that we're breaking that cycle and we're eating at home more, and the kids are enjoying the food more. They're trying it. They're giving it a shot. We had a soup the other day that had kale in it, and I know um the kids uh did better with it than they had before. We had Spanish rice last night that was probably a little too spicy for them, I think, is what ended up happening. And that's, uh, what we're working on is trying to find what is a happy medium for the whole family, too, because a lot of the menu items or the menu items, a lot of the recipes that me and Carrie are eating right now have been specifically kind of tweaked for uh our palate so that we enjoy it. And so we do have to kind of tone down maybe some of the spiciness or some of the, change some of the different things that, to help get them to eat it. But they've been doing really great on eating this way. They um really didn't have any issues this weekend. My son did end up going to my parents' house and they had Oreos, and he squirreled away these. I think they were like 2 packs of Oreos that my parents had, and he squirreled away a bunch of Oreos that the kids were snacking on last night, which was funny. But Oreos are vegan, so you don't feel bad about it. Let's see if I had any other food things from the weekend. We did try a new salad that I don't know if Carrie's listening right now or not, but I believe it was Friday night or it was this weekend that we had it, that um it was really sweet. It had cranberries in it, and it was just a different type of salad than we've had in the past. And it was interesting to try. I it would actually with all the sweetness that was in it, like all the fruits that were in it, the without the cranberries, I thought it was a good salad without it anyways, but it has been really a great experience so far trying these foods. Like everything that I've been nervous about recently that I've just given a shot, like the falafel bowls that we had, or the Buddha bowl we had with the different dressings, um, and then like the salad here. Uh, I've really been happy with the change and the variety, and I'm not, you know, it's something where like I see with our kids where they're so hesitant to try these things because they have an anticipation of what it's going to taste like based off of how it looks or what color it is, or and um so many times I'm continually more pleased with this diet every day, and um it's really been cool to find these new recipes. But then I had a decent amount. We had all of the ingredients for our avocado and miso and mango pico de gallo toast. So I definitely had that. I think I had it for breakfast this morning. Oatmeal for breakfast every morning. Again, just a staple for us in the Instapot. And it rocks. So really haven't needed a variety with the breakfast. Uh, I did end up the avocado toast. The When we both eat avocado toast, it kind of works out to cut up one avocado and split it between the pieces of bread. But when I eat it by myself, it's a lot of avocado. And it's a thi avocados are really good. They taste really good. I never, I'm not telling a lot of people anything they don't already know or they don't already, but Carrie says she'll put that salad in the Discord. Yeah. Um, but again, avocado was just something I avoided. I didn't give it a shot. It was an ugly color, like I would eat guacamole if it was on something, like on nachos, but it wouldn't be like I would grab a guacamole dip. So the uh but I had a couple pieces of avocado toast this morning actually that had just an incredible amount of avocado on it, and it was so good. And it just made me kind of laugh that it was, these are foods that a year ago, a year and a half ago, I wouldn't even tried, and now they're the things that I'm craving. They're the things that uh I'm looking forward to having. Uh I have been continuing to listen to the Simon Hill book, The Proof is in the Plants. I really enjoy the book. The first um, section, or the first good chunk of the book that I listened to, I think I said on Friday, it was, our stories aren't, I mean, I came to this for 100% to lose weight, and came to it through fasting. So there's a lot of things that are different about our stories, but um, not like we came to a plant-based diet for health though, and not so much animals or environment. Um, and he talks a lot about how the political system is set up to kind of make us be surrounded by poor food choices, and the marketing that companies do, and kind of the systemic stuff that causes, it cause obesity in general. Um, and very much a lot of what this book is if I were to write a book, it would be very similar to this. Um, the section I'm listening to right now is very heavy technically, as far as talking about cholesterol and uh, different scientific and very, you know, 3, 4 syllable words, very science based, and research and studies show, and um, a lot of technical jargon, maybe would be the best way to say it. And it's really, it's tough to listen to in that, like, um I'm already on board. Like, I don't like when you get into the little bits of this stuff, it doesn't, nothing about this is, gonna cause me to switch. It does strengthen the resolve to stick to it, I suppose, a little bit, but I am 100% on board, so some of it is a little bit um hard to not daydream during, just because it's so much technical jargon, um and you can you can follow it. It's not like you can't follow it, but um it would be, it again, like if the first half was very similar to a book I would write, having this part of the book would be the part that I would have, like, it just seems like filler for the book. Um, like it's just, um, and but I mean, but there are bits that I'm pulling out of it that I do enjoy, and that I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, and I should have wrote them down. But I am learning things that I didn't know, and the uh one thing I would say is that the book is very current. And so some of the studies that he is citing are studies that were released, or, findings that were released in 2021 still. So it's very current to the time, and what the newest studies are showing. But I think I'm at least halfway through the book, or I'm about halfway through the book, and I'm looking forward to listening to the rest of it. I got about 6 hours, so yeah, I think I'm a little under halfway. But um, I probably won't get a chance to listen to it much other than my ride. I'll get about an hour to listen to it, and then this weekend we're going to be traveling with the family, and so we'll probably be listening to something fun, holiday music, or something different. Not the the proof is in the plants. I mean, unless we want to put the kids to sleep. Sometimes I guess we have done that, where Carrie has let me listen to the audiobook I was listening to, and kids would just fall asleep in the background. Um let's see. I like the book, that Thanksgiving, guys. I don't know what you guys got going on for Thanksgiving. I'd love to hear what you guys are planning on doing, but we got the traveling. We're going to be down there, and it's I'm excited to see some people. I'm hoping that, they notice that I lost weight. I think a few people will notice that I've lost weight since the last time I've seen them. Um One of the things that has bugged me about other things I've seen, like, I'm going to allow myself to eat things this weekend that I wouldn't normally eat during the week, or like on a normal week. But there's a line that I'm not going to cross, as far as I'm definitely going to eat a vegan diet. Uh I'm going to try to eat whole food, plant-based whenever I can, which should be really all but 1 or 2 meals. And then um but I'm not, in we've like, temptation is so much different with the diet that I eat now versus the diet that we used to eat. Uh, Doing the turkey. You're doing the turkey? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Um, the or like you have to cook it. That would suck. Be really frustrated to have to cook the turkey. Um, the oh man, I was just talking about, it'd be really easy to. I'm gonna try really hard not to be eating junk food in front of people though, because something that I've seen, I want to be a good influence on people. I want people to see me and say, holy shit, look how much weight John's lost. That's incredible. And I want them to be able to be like, if they see me eating, they see me eating uh that, Whole Foods, we're gonna have the uh Anthony says, yeah, I'm cooking everything turkey plus the healthy stuff. Uh yeah, somebody was talking about we were talking about mashed potatoes, and I read a thing where another person was having issues with mashed potatoes and how their family was nervous to whether or not people would be adventurous enough to eat vegan mashed potatoes, which is funny because most of mashed potatoes uh is just potato, which is vegan. Obviously you have to make it creamy. But um anyways, I'm talking about my influence on people. And I I think that it's so easy for people, especially when they're doing well. Like, I'm not stressing about it in my head. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to worry about the food I'm eating in my head much. But I don't want people to see me and say, "Wow, he did great. He lost all that weight." And oh man, he still can eat Oreos. He can still eat all those things. And so maybe I can still eat Oreos and lose weight. And uh, it's uh like it's that snapshot they see though that is the influence. Like they're just seeing that 1 hour that I allow myself to have a turkey substitute that has sodium in it, and maybe eat these chocolates that Carrie got, these Belgian chocolates. And then they just walk away with, well, he lost weight and he got to eat Belgian chocolates. Um, Whereas I want the influence to be um, that I'm succeeding and I'm able to resist that temptation in the face of it. And I think from the outside looking in, the temptation from meat and dairy looks so tough, but from this side of it, it's not tough at all. I don't have any issues not eating meat and dairy. But if I can show people that I'm not eating those things, maybe that, it'll help me from hopefully overeating this weekend and being crazy. Um, but uh hopefully they, like I said, I've seen examples of people who've lost weight and then they go to an event that they, and people are like, wow, you did a great job, you're doing great, and they're letting themselves kind of go at the moment because they're happy and they're rewarding themselves, and that's what people see. And I want it to be a better influence than that. Thanks, Anthony. And then Carrie said, luckily another family member is bringing the turkey, the dressing, so we won't have that delicious smell. I don't know, like we won't have that smell, I suppose. And Carrie said that she did buy some vegan pie. What kind of pie? Yeah, I'm interested in what kind of pie we're gonna have. Um, yeah, I couldn't, like, I'm so over dealing with meat, and like I feel for you having to deal with the turkey. I mean, it's uh we haven't had any meat products in our house in a long time now. And that's been kind of weird too. I guess we might have brought something in, uh, but having our kids' friends over and stay over has been really interesting because we don't tell their parents that their kids are going to be eating a vegan diet when they're at our house. But if the kids are at our house and they are there for a mealtime, then they are going to be eating a vegan diet. Well, now they are because we got rid of the buttermilk pancakes, right? That was, I think Carrie made those on Saturday morning for the kids because we had one of the kids' friends stayed over, and um, but we're almost rid of all of the animal products. We're slowly getting rid of them all. It's a Marie Calendar Dutch apple pie and cherry crunch pie. They are both vegan. That sounds delicious. I'm excited to try those out. And then we have a vegan turkey thing that Carrie's parents actually have picked up. We were going to bring ours, but I don't think we need to now, which is cool. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to actually seeing some people that we haven't seen in a little while. We did see some people at a wedding, but we haven't seen. Ooh, I don't know if we've seen this side of the family in a while. I feel like we saw them for something not too long ago, but I know we didn't do Thanksgiving. Did we do Easter or something? I don't know. Anyways, it's going to be good. It's gone now. No more pancake mix, Carrie says. Yes. But yeah, though, so I don't know if their parents know that their kids are eating a vegan diet, but that's what they're getting. And, we have, we've done a decent job finding foods that, with the chicken nuggets, those Impossible nuggets are good. Any kid would eat those. Really, I think the chicken patties most people would eat without any issues. And we still have like a white bread that, peanut butter and jelly is always an option for kids as well. So, um, yeah, just all over the place here. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to talk about. I'm looking forward to the travel and being just us, just the family and doing all that stuff. It's a little bit stressful, but we all figured it out. And then but yeah, I'm not going to be on the rest of this week. I will be back on um Monday of next week. I'm going to do my weigh-in on Wednesday of next week. And so that will be, that's another thing is I don't want to get, I don't want to go crazy this week with Thanksgiving and have, blow up my weight for next week. So Cyber Monday, is that what it is on Monday? Yeah, I'll be back on Cyber Monday. I haven't even looked at any of the different sales. Carrie says we haven't had any complaints from the kids that we've had stay over. Yeah, they seem to eat the food, So and there's they get it figured out. We have some chips and things as well, and there's always fruits, They can always have a fruit. But I think that was really everything I was going to talk about. I want to thank you guys for checking out my broadcast. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do get subscribed to the channel. Click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live, which is usually around Carrie says, I thought this was the Cyber Week before Thanksgiving. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Subscribe and click the bell icon. We do have a Discord that you can join the Discord. The link for that is down in the description below. That should be live or active for a week. And we also have a link to a Pinterest board that shows a lot of the different menu or meal. I keep saying menu. A lot of the recipes and meals that we have been enjoying on while we've been eating this plant-based diet. So So yeah, I want to thank you guys again. Have a good Thanksgiving. Don't go crazy. Push yourself away from the table. I know there's a lot of, especially if you're like into the diet. This was, last year I was really nervous about going into Thanksgiving. Thankfully, it kind of got canceled and we didn't have to go and be in public, but it can be tough. And, just try to hold on to those scale victories you've had, those non-scale victories. I mean, I know I was 20 days in, I had lost 50 pounds and, uh, that was a lot of momentum that just kept going on and on and on. Yes, you thought today was Cyber Monday because you've been online shopping, I noticed. The, but yeah, just you can make it through. I know that you're gonna face challenges and temptations that are, they're just so difficult to pass up, and you make excuses and you give yourself reasons to falter, but just kind of, just know that the end result is worth anything that you're giving up, and anything that the um that it's, in the end, anything that you feel like you're sacrificing is worth it. And, a lot of times you're not sacrificing that much. Uh, Stare the turkey down. Just yes, stare the turkey down. Um, yeah, good luck, Anthony, with that. If you make it poorly, that's kind of, I mean, don't carry earmuffs, but anytime she asks me to help her out around the house, you just do it poorly and then they won't ask you to do it again. So, I don't know. Have you ever seen Christmas Vacation, the way that turkey came out? Just a little dry. Um, and yeah, and Carrie said you'll be so proud that you made it through. You get through the holiday, resist the temptations, stick to your guns, stick to your diet, eat before you go places, eat at home, bring food that's on your diet. Set yourself up for success, not failure. Make a plan and do it. So, um, and let me know how you do on Monday when we come back. You guys all have a great week. Have a great week. I'm gonna get out of here. Get started right now. Don't wait. Uh, Nobody ever says that they wish they would have waited. Everybody says they wish they would have started sooner. So get started right now. Have a great week.